hope you all are doing well. Tonight I wanted to talk about The Bachelor. Can you guys believe? Wait, before we get into it, please like this video, subscribe if you are not, and leave a comment below as it helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps to get my videos out to more people, and I would really appreciate that. If you're not already subscribed to my main channel, I do have a main ASMR channel that is Rach ASMR here on YouTube, where I post 3 times per week, and it's all ASMR content, where this channel is going to be a little bit of regular content, a little bit of ASMR. I kind of wanted to talk about the absolutely crazy episode tonight. It was the season finale of The Bachelor. If you're here, then you probably watched The Bachelor. If not, you just wanted to hear me whisper, which either way I'm totally okay with. Tonight was the season finale, and it was a 2-part. So the first part was yesterday, the second part was today, and hold on to your panties, ladies and gentlemen, or whatever you're identifying as. What a crazy episode it was. So it was down to just, 3 ladies technically, and Khalid, which was our bachelor, had Gabby, Rachel, and Susie. Like a little hair stuck in the mic a little bit right there. Okay. And what ended up happening was he did overnight dates with Rachel first, then Gabby, then Susie. That's how it was supposed to go. Susie would have been last. He did the 2 first overnight dates, and then he ended up sleeping with both of the ladies and telling them both that he was falling in love with them. And at this point on camera, he had already said that he loved Susie, that he was in love with her, and that he loved her the most. Okay. Well, up to this point, Susie had told Clayton to explore his relationships, so he did really explore their relationships and slept with both girls, and it was Susie's turn to go on the overnight date, and he told Susie that she asked, she was like, I need to just tell you this because it's been on my mind, but if you slept with any of the other girls, it's a deal breaker. Like, I don't want my future husband, to be sleeping with the other women or telling them that he loves them as well. And he was like, well, why didn't you tell me? And kind of got aggressive and angry. And it turned ugly very quick, to say the least. And the conversation definitely went south pretty quickly. And inevitably, Susie ended up leaving. And Clayton kind of was like, you know what, you didn't express this to me in the beginning. You didn't tell me it was a deal breaker if I slept with the other 2 women. You actually told me to explore the other relationships. And she was like, well, I shouldn't have to ask my future husband to not sleep with anybody else. And I get where she's coming from. I would probably say the same thing. But I am very, everybody's not the same in terms of how they communicate. For me, I probably would have told him ahead of time, like, look, if it's me in the end, don't you dare sleep with those other girls. If they are okay with you doing that, kudos, but I'm not. So if I am your future wife and you know that, was in love with Susie and I love both of you and I slept with both of you as well. And they just break down. They're crying, you know, the whole thing, and my heart just broke for them. Rachel was like sobbing on the stairs. I'm like, oh, my heart. But inevitably she chose to stay, and Gabby was going to leave, but Clayton decided to stay, or I mean asked her to stay, to hold out. So she did. She was like, okay, I'll stay. So it's just Rachel and Gabby, and he was like, I want to give this my all, I'm really sorry, blah blah blah. Okay. Now, in between showing the season finale, they showed clips of the audience, and in the audience was Bachelor alumni, and a couple of them came on stage to give their input as this was going down. And one of the people that came on stage was Claire Crawley. And she kind of like bashed Clayton a little bit, and I'm like, ma'am, you literally shut down The Bachelor because you fell in love with Green Eyes. I forget his name. What's his name? It's like on the tip of my tongue. Dale. You fell in love with Dale after like 3 dates, group dates, and left with him, and then it ended up blowing up, and they're not together anymore. So who are you to like talk on another person's journey? You got no right. And then the other person that I was like was Cassie from Colton's pick. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna go there, but anyway, sticking on topic. At this point, Gabby and Rachel go to meet his family, and Clayton tells his dad and mom everything that went down, and he's like telling them, I love Susie the most. I still can't stop thinking about her. And they're like, she left. She's gone. Like, she left you. You gotta let it go. Focus on the 2 relationships that are here. I was just like his dad did not hold back, and I was shocked, honestly. And I think he needed to hear that. I do think that he is sorry for what he put the girls through in a sense, but in another sense, I think that he has a lot of growth that needs to happen in terms of empathy and like compartmentalizing people's emotions and how his actions might affect other people. And his dad seems much more in tune with that. He's got a lot of learning to do, but anyway, so if you watched it, I don't have to go through the whole entire thing with you. It's more about opinion at this point, but you know, at the end, he ends up breaking up with both of the girls together, which was like, you tore these girls' hearts out of their chest. You don't have the decency to break up with them separately. You're doing it like grouping them. And he told them about, you know, loving both of them and sleeping with both of them as a group. It's like everything he did was with both of them. I don't know if he was like too scared to take them to the side individually or what, but that's the opinion that I got, was maybe he didn't want to have to do it twice separately and felt more comfortable doing it in a group setting with both girls. I don't know. But anyway, he ends up breaking up with them, and poor Rachel. My heart broke for her. She's such a sweet girl. Like, I mean, Gabby is too, but Gabby seems very strong-willed, and not to say Rachel doesn't, but you can tell Rachel really wears her heart on her sleeve. And she was like in love, where I don't know if Gabby was as much in love just by like her emotions and actions. I could be wrong. Let me know what you think below. But he ends up breaking up with them, and he finds out that Susie, the one that left, is still there. And he's like, I love her. I need to try. Even if she says, screw you, like, I need to try and, make this work. I thought it was weird. The first time they've seen each other after all this was in front of his parents. Like, she agreed to come and talk to him, and I think she thought as well it would just be him. And she walks into the room and both of his parents are there. Like, how uncomfortable. You haven't talked to this dude since you broke up with him, and you come to have this serious conversation, and he's just sitting there with his parents. She's like, I think that me and you need to talk before I go and sit and have like a kumbaya with your parents. And I agreed. It was just so awkward. Like, are you gonna have this serious conversation in front of mom and dad? Like, what? But yeah, I thought that was kind of strange. And then so Susie's like, yeah, I can't do this. Like, I don't feel comfortable moving in to like a possible engagement. I need to think this over. I need to think about what I want to do. Because he's like, please give me a chance, blah, 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 we know. So she bounces. And the next time he sees this girl, he's got a ring in his pocket and he plans to propose. He writes her some heartfelt letter, and then she comes and meets him. And she was like, no, I don't want to get engaged. He's like, well, can we at least make like this work, try like a relationship? And she's like, no, I'm totally done. So she leaves, she gets in the truck, and he's like standing in the rain, which how dramatic. That's totally like Bachelor producers at work. They were eating this up. They were eating it up when like Rachel and Gabby were crying. I'm not laughing at them crying. I'm just laughing at the producers now. When they were crying in that building, and Clayton was talking to Jesse in like the confessional area, you could hear Rachel and Gabby like sobbing, crying, and some people noted that maybe they like enhanced the audio so that the cries would be extra loud on TV. I mean, it's TV, right? It's reality TV, and they get ratings by the drama. So, and there was sure a ton of drama. So anyway, we're at after the final rose, and each girl comes out and roasts him, like just gives it to him, which I thought both of them did such a good job sticking up for themselves and kind of saying their piece, and I think they deserved that. And you guys let me know what you think, but I think it sounded like he was just rehearsing. He's probably nervous. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But, like, even his conversations throughout The Bachelor were very bland. And like Rachel said, like, he wasn't giving her anything emotionally or, like, validating words of affirmation. Like, he wasn't giving anything. And I felt that too. And it just didn't feel like he was totally in it. I don't know, just very like bland. I don't know. Not to say he's a bland person, and maybe he was nervous. Everybody's different on camera. I can't say how I would act, God only knows, but I did notice that. And on stage tonight, during the after the final rose, I felt like he just kept saying, I'm sorry. And okay, so they roast him, right? They go away. And they make it seem like, okay, story's ended. The girl that he wanted got away. She left him. Story's over. And then Jesse, like, pauses. And he was like, but is it? And then him and Clayton are talking. And he's like, one of the girls reached out to me after the show, and I did not expect this person to reach out at all. And they're like, okay, who's this mystery woman? And they ask the audience, and I honestly, let me know what you guys thought it was. They kept putting the camera on, what's her name? The fourth girl, such a pretty girl, the one that was eliminated, that went to hometowns. They kept like putting the camera on her, so I thought maybe it would be her. And then I was like, oh my god, is it Shanae? Is that why they're saying it's like the most dramatic season. Is he about to come on stage with Shanae as a couple? I think I heard some people in the audience say Shanae because she was after the final rose, which is a bold move because like everybody in the franchise can't stand her. But I mean, do you, boo? She's bold. Then all they do is show like a woman walking in these gorgeous heels with these amazing legs. I was like, who is that? And she comes out and it's Susie. And I honestly was happy. And I wanna know what you guys think. They seemed like nothing was bothering them. Like they didn't have a care in the world on that stage while they were together. And I think that is a testimony to their relationship. They've already been through a lot, and they've had to deal with the backlash of social media, where it was like Clayton against Susie, like who's right, who's wrong, whose side are you on? Everybody on the internet was talking about it, and they even mentioned that at the end, after the final rose, like this wasn't like Team Susie, Team Clayton. We are a team now, and we would love for people to see us that way. And I respect that. They're two grown adults that made that decision to be together. And, you know, me and my fiance didn't get together in a conventional way. We went through a lot to be together as well. And I can attest to that making us a stronger couple. It made us a stronger couple. And they seemed very happy and kissing and just all smiles. Susie seemed much more relaxed and poised than she was on the show. She seemed more herself and just more relaxed. And I give her a lot of credit because, you know, to have to watch that back, it was cringe. It was awful. And he did tell two other people he was falling in love with them, and he did sleep with two other girls. So for them to get past all that, all of the internet hate and debacle, and for them to be that happy still, I think that says a lot. And I'm rooting for them. I really am. Let me know what you guys think. If you think she made the right decision or not. If you think it's going to last. I wish everybody nothing but the best. So I wish them well. You can tell Rachel's dad was in the audience and was just like stoic and like wanting to do some things to Clayton in the back. But before we end this video, the Bachelorettes, if you don't know who it is yet, click off because you're about to get spoiled. I guess this whole video technically is. But anyway, so they make it seem like Jesse, before it cuts to commercial, he's like, it's not Rachel or Gabby, and everybody's like, in the audience, because people were hoping it would be one of those two ladies. So I'm like starting to think like, who else it could it be? Maybe it's Lindsay, because of the whole Shanae debacle. And then they come back from break, and he announces it's both Gabby and Rachel. And they're like, how is this gonna work? And he's like, I have no idea. Nobody knew. I don't even think they know what they're gonna do yet. What do you guys think that's gonna look like? Did you guys remember, if you're Bachelor fans, a while ago when they like had one group of guys and they had them vote for the Bachelorette? Obviously that's not how it's going to be, but are they all gonna date the same guys, and then the guys get to pick which girl they're more into? Like, can you imagine the drama that would make for good TV? But I think that could get very messy and potentially mess with their friendship, and they seem extremely close because of what they went through. So I really hope that's not the case. I hope they have two separate groups of guys, but they did say that it's not going to be two separate seasons. They're going to be the same season, two Bachelorettes. So let me know in the comments below, like, what other way do you guys think that could go? I'm curious. I'm excited for it. I think they're going to do amazing. They're both strong, beautiful women that deserve love. And I'm rooting for beautiful, why can't I think of her name? Clayton and Susie. Susie, she's gorgeous, isn't she? She's like Let me know all of your comments below.